Welcome back. Chicago Fire Weekly, presented by the Private Bank, the official bank of your Chicago Fire. Fred Hubner along with Paul Tenorio, Frank Lopez, and actually we don't have a World Cup title. This guy does. Bastian Schweinsteiger joining us from the Chicago Fire. It's been, just a couple of weeks ago, you were on the other side of this building with a big press conference. You've been running around. I saw you at the Bulls game. I saw you at the Blackhawks game. Unfortunately, there's no more Blackhawks games. But have you had time to settle down, time to calm down, relax, and get used to everything?
Yes, I had time to settle in. So the club helped me a lot as well. So it was very easy for me and my wife to settle in. Of course, the focus for me is the soccer, to be focused on it. But of course, you have to do some things around, so that's okay. So, and I really enjoyed the time.
Bastian, I'm sure, a player of your level, you had a lot of options to choose some as your next move where you wanted to continue to play. What were the key factors for you to look at MLS and look at a team like Chicago and say, you know what, this is the place I want to go and continue my career?
I was always watching the MLS, so I always had it in my mind to maybe join the MLS. And of course, I think the first contact with Veljko Paunovic and also Nelson Rodriguez was very important for me to hear the idea, the vision of the club as well. And I know that Chicago is a big sports city. So, and for me, I saw it as I know that the results the last 2 years weren't so good, but it's kind of an opportunity, a challenge as well, for me. And I was looking forward to that, and I'm very happy now to be here.
Well, I saw also on the report on TSN that you said that you called Franz Beckenbauer, a guy that played here in the old NASL days. I'm sure he probably told you that his favorite city was Chicago, right? Or no?
No, I was not calling him, but Franz Beckenbauer sometimes traveled with us to the Champions League matches, and we had time to talk about life and soccer and everything, and he was telling me that his best time was actually when he was playing in America, and so he was saying, yeah, if you have a chance, do it, and now I have to say he was right. He was right, yeah.
Well, it's interesting, Bastian, I saw in an interview you did, you were talking about the last year with Manchester United and the difficulty of not having your love every weekend to go out and play the game that you've played your entire life. Did that year, this past year, now being back on the field, maybe give you more of an appreciation for being able to continue to do what you love and being on the soccer field every weekend playing the game?
Kind of. I was missing a lot the atmosphere in the stadium, to play 90 minutes, to create something on a pitch, to have the team. I couldn't do it so much in United. I managed it to play again for United, so it was not easy in the beginning of last year, but I'm actually a player. I love to be on the pitch. I love to be, even when I was training by my own for 3 months in Manchester, I just enjoyed it to be on the pitch and to have the ball and to play a little bit. So, but of course, I appreciate every single day to be on the pitch, to be a professional, to play soccer. So that's actually, when you're a small kid, you play soccer because you just love the game, and that's how I feel.
Well, you've had a few games now in MLS. Are you starting to feel more comfortable with the team and kind of getting back into the rhythms of things?
Yes. It's not easy for me because I was not playing so much in the past, so I have to get my rhythm. So I try to improve myself more and more, and I want to decide games, so you need energy for that. So I'm trying in every single training session to do a little bit more and to come to my 100% to reach that. But the team helps me a lot. We have with Dax or Junior also players that they are experienced. They help me a lot, especially in the midfield. And of course, I don't like to lose. So for me, in Toronto, I was not so happy about the result and some decisions which we made. But we are still. We have to develop our game to ask for this kind of playoff spots or to be #1 maybe in the Eastern Conference. So we have to do our job every single day. Training, we have to work on these small things to make it easier for everyone at the end of the day.
Where do you feel you are then, fitness-wise, to get, or I know it's a tough question because you feel great, but then I know how important the games are when you don't play to get that sharpness in games and the rhythm, because you look good on the field, and for me, even at 50%, you can make a big difference. But I'm just wanted to know, like, where do you feel you are right now?
I would say around 70%. So it's still in a game. You feel like you want to do something and you can't really do it. Like because of the energy. I try to, of course, play with my brain. My brain is on 100%, so that's working. But I feel as a player, you know it how it is. If you are in a rhythm, if you play 20 games in a row, you have a better, just rhythm, a feeling for the game, and that's where I'm working.
Bastian Schweinsteiger joining us here on Chicago Fire Weekly. Have you realized the first couple of games that the opposition has made you a target? You get the ball, I know very first game you get the ball, they come in, kick you. Have you been more of a target now maybe in MLS than you were before?
Yeah, it was interesting. Actually, it wasn't the first match, you're right.
Yes.
So it was after 10 seconds, but that's normal. I mean, soccer is, you have this kind of battles, you have to kind of this situation. I don't mind, so I just don't like when someone tackles you and you tackle him and then he's crying, That's what I like, Be tough, that's fine, and but that's okay. It's not a problem, when, for example, some attention comes to me on a pitch, then there's maybe a space there for someone else to step in, and we have players who can also create passes and scoring goals.
Bastian Schweinsteiger joining us. We come back, we'll talk more about how he's adjusted to everything, not only the team and the league, but also the city of Chicago. You're watching Chicago Fire Weekly, presented by the Private Bank. Welcome back, Chicago Fire Weekly, presented by the Private Bank. Fred Hubner along with Paul Tenorio, Frank Lopez, and Bastian Schweinsteiger for one more segment. Living in Chicago now, you've lived in big places, Munich and in England. How does Chicago compare to the other places you lived in?
I have to say it's a really nice place to live. I mean, of course, sometimes it was maybe a little bit windy, but I don't mind. I'm used to it. In Manchester, it was also very windy. So far as I can talk about the city, the people are very polite. I like the city life. The lake is also very nice to have some walks. So I'm really happy to be here.
So you had some opportunity, because I know when you came, you said I want to go out and meet the people in Chicago and talk to them and get a feel for the city. You had an opportunity when you're walking, people bug you and you sit there and talk to them. And
yes.
What's your initial thoughts or early thoughts?
Actually, that everyone loves sport. Like if it's a basketball or baseball or soccer, so everyone loves sport. And it's funny, sometimes we actually met a couple 3 times in 2 days, like just by accident, like it was not that we now are still in touch and we talk about it. They know something about the city, so it's nice to have some talks with the people from Chicago, and we're really looking forward to meet more.
Well, Bastian, when you first sat down, Fred was talking about the fact that you have a World Cup title. I saw that you did a little video on your teammate's phone reminding him of what the score was between Germany and Argentina. It shows that you're getting to know the guys a little bit better to be able to heckle Lucho Solignac like that on his phone, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous to leave the phone in the gym, you never know. Sometimes people, they change the language into Chinese or something, so it's not easy to get it back in the English, but yeah, it should be just a fun. I didn't know that he's posting it, so but I like the Argentina people a lot, so I hope that I don't have any problems with the people from Argentina.
You mentioned baseball, and Tuesday you're going to be at the Cubs game along with Dax and Janino, but from what we know, you're throwing out the first pitch. Did you play any baseball growing up, or have you ever thrown a baseball?
Not really, actually. So maybe I can kick it with the foot. That's a bad idea.
Don't hurt your foot doing it. You might have to get a couple practice throws in at training this week.
Yeah, no.
Have you had a chance to explore the food scene here? Are you getting out and about in the town? I know you've been to the sporting events and stuff, but are you getting a feel for kind of the culinary aspects of Chicago in the U.S.? Get some deep dish pizza yet?
Yeah, I heard about this pizza. It's huge, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I will try it when it's the right time. You know, now I try to, of course, live healthy and prepare my body and everything for the games. So, but I definitely try this, and also the Chicago dog, right? Or is it the
Chicago hot dog? Yeah.
Chicago hot dog, yeah. Without mustard, right?
No ketchup. You can't put ketchup. You'll get in trouble.
Ah, okay. That's weird. Normally in Germany we also have big ketchup on it.
He came, he was putting ketchup at first.
Yeah, I got in trouble with Frank. You know, I'm not from Chicago. I didn't know the rules. So listen, I know you've played at some of the biggest stadiums in the world, some of the toughest atmospheres to go play. You make your first road trip in MLS this past week. You're heading to New York this coming week, then LA. 3 pretty good cities to go to in your first 3 road trips. Are you starting to get a feel for what it's like on the road in MLS in the sense of the travel that occurs, how far you're going to have to fly, and the atmosphere at BMO Field was not too bad either?
Yes, I have to say the first game away was not so difficult. We just flew 1.5 hours there, so it's going to be a little bit different than when you go to LA or Portland, for example. But so far, I really enjoyed it. You know, the trip to Toronto, everything was good. You know, the national anthem for America and Canada was great, but the score was not right. So that's why it was okay, but it could be better.
Just for me, we're going back to soccer now. Just your initial thoughts on the league early on. I know you played a few games. Just the quality of play that have you seen early on?
I think the quality is good, you know, but still there you can improve, you know, in some decision makings, you know, on the pitch. You can control the games more, I think. But you can see there's a lot of excitement in the game, you know, the players want to score the goal, but maybe, you know, sometimes it's better to keep the ball, you know, and control the game a little bit more. So there's a little bit of improvement, which you can see, and that's good.
Did you see the score of Bayern Munich today? I didn't want to tell you.
Yes, I was watching the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching the game.
Yeah, you know, speaking of pictures and phones, you became a photographer, from what we understand, in Toronto when a lady asked you to take the picture of the other players. How did that feel? I'm sure that never happened probably in England or Germany.
No, that happened, but no one made a picture of the whole situation, you know? so that was actually quite funny. But yeah, the lady we were asking, and I was next to her, so I said, yes, of course I'm going to take the picture. Yeah. But by the way, Fred, I know you had a rough time in the past, so yes. I have a little present for you. Maybe, I hope it's the right size.
Oh,
it's a jersey
me too.
Of mine.
Too much of that.
Looks like okay, right?
Too much of that deep dish pizza, I think. For me.
Beautiful.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bastian Schweinsteiger, nice enough to join us here on Chicago Fire Weekly. Don't forget the Chicago Fire taking on the New York Red Bulls this coming Saturday, 6:30 in New York. Next home game, next time we get out to Toyota Park, will be Saturday, May 13th against Seattle. Get on out there, chicago-fire.com. You can get your tickets. We come back, we'll take a closer look at what the Fire can do as they get ready to take on the Red Bulls this Saturday. You're watching Chicago Fire Weekly, presented by the Private Bank.